Hello, my Earth sisters, Capricorn. This is Lori with 3 Keys Astrology, and I'm offering all signs an April 2025 forecast. The reason I'm doing this is because over on my website, there's a brand new reading offered, and that is that I will customize to your birth chart the monthly horoscope each month. And you don't have to meet me. We will... You'll receive them directly to your inbox. Excuse me. Those readings are only $100 if you want me to do the entire year for you. I would be more than happy to. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for joining. You guys are saying some of the nicest things, and we're getting lots of new members, and I'm really enjoying being back to work just for you. So, I'm also offering some Sabian symbols to each of the signs. So Capricorn, this forecast is for you, April 2025, and it is all Capricorn suns, moons, and rising signs. And the Sabian symbol that I chose for this reading today is 20 Capricorn. Now, if you put those degrees that belong to you personally in the comments below on YouTube, I will let you know what your Sabian symbol is. Why? Because it's a bit of a monogram of life. And the things that these mystical universals speak of have everything to do with something about our soul's journey. And I think you'll enjoy them. You can check out the other zodiac signs for the month if you want more information. But your Capricorn 20 in the Sabian symbol is a hidden choir singing, which infers worship. And this is what it talks about. It talks about resolution. Now, I know of all signs, you've really been through it. Since 2008, you went through dramatic and drastic changes. There were lots of endings in your life, and life doesn't look the same as it did before then. And that's because of Pluto. And if you would kindly, because you're such loving people, you are the sisters to we Taurians and we Virgos, if you wouldn't mind commenting below to tell people what your Plutonian experience was. You know, we can't help but be a little intimidated by this power, because it's a force that comes in and makes changes in our lives that we have no control over. And it is intense, and it is life-changing. And because you're so warm and lovable, my best friends have always been Capricorns. I'm a Cancer rising, so you are my opposite. And I have a daughter. My baby has a Capricorn rising sign. And there's so much about you to be admired. And I think you're warm and cuddly and sweet. Even though you're very protective, I think a lesser degree than Scorpio, but you just don't let people get that close right away. So this Sabian symbol at 20 Capricorn, talking about a hidden choir singing, is about resolution and worship. This symbol speaks to the symphony of cosmic reconciliation and the resolution of conflict. The image of a hidden choir singing alludes to music of the spheres, or the universal harmony behind all manifestation. What may seem dissonant on the surface of things may only be a smaller, more distinguishable part of the unified whole. The emphasis in this symbol is on understanding the purpose behind difference and learning how to use it for the higher good. On a practical level, this symbol can indicate an anonymous or behind-the-scenes group of people exposing the truth or singing, quote-unquote, about some situation that needs to be corrected. At the positive, its highest calling, it represents a special talent for finding ways to bring people together to accomplish common goals. On the negative part of it, it's timidity or indifference and withdrawal. And Capricorn can be kind of a lonely character. You know, the energy of you on the earth is to kind of fade into the background. So today the Sabian symbol says the accent is on the restoration of harmony through bringing hidden situations to light and exposing them. so they can be dealt with and rectified. Your greatest advantage lies in listening with a third ear and paying attention to subtle messages. If your personal differences become so great that you can't seem to get along with others, focus instead on what you have in common. Guard against trying to solve your problems by running away from them or hiding your eyes from the truth that is staring you in the face. And so the stepping stones to the Sabian symbol are oneness, peace, the music of the spheres, cosmic reconciliation, truth, encouragement, and praise. And the month overall is quite important for you. In order for you, if you are one of those people that are walling off and staying away, or maybe you've suffered so much loss and grief that you just can't bear to be with people, and this Sabian symbol is encouraging you rather to put one foot in front of the other and go, not to be alone. That's not what God meant for you. Now, not only was Pluto on top of you and making so many major life changes, but Black Moon Lilith in Libra has not been your friend. I'd like you to comment below if any of you had a character in your workplace or somebody above you, some authority figure that had that energy that just drained you and that you couldn't seem to please and wanted more and more and more work from you, Capricorn. Please comment, because I have lots of other clients that have experienced it, and it is because Black Moon Lilith was there. The good news is, rather than being on the bones of your chart, that cross that you have to bear, because your axis is Capricorn rising, especially, and then your opposition energy or people you attract to you so that you learn your lessons are Cancerians, and then the vertical part of your cross is Libra, and the southern part of your cross is Aries. Now, that antagonist at work has moved into Scorpio. That's your 11th house of hopes and dreams. That's an easier placement to deal with that, though it could be a friend that's betraying or backstabbing or taking something that belongs to you. And now that you know this, you can be aware and have your eyes open and protect yourself. Throughout this month, you have some really sweet days. I particularly like the 15th for you. Easter Sunday, the 20th, is a wonderful day for everyone. It happens to be my late mommy's birthday. We lost her in 1994, so I've lived much of my adult life without my mom, and my daughters didn't get to know their grandmother like lots of people have that luxury. I like the 19th for you, the 28th, and the 29th. Now, difficult days for all signs are 3, 13, and 18. I do weekly forecasts, you may well know. I also blog them and write them at length on my website, www.threekeysastrology.com, so you can read them there. My husband and I had walking pneumonia in February, and so I didn't get a lot of work done. In fact, the work that I did was audio because I was exhausted and we couldn't breathe very easily. We're recovering, but we still, like many of you, have a lot of congestion and inflammation. Now, Capricorn, it's important for you to make sure that in your lifetime you're fortifying your bones. You, most of all the signs, have skeletal issues, and they include teeth. So this month of April, if you haven't been for a while, get yourself to the dentist, and then make sure that you're mineralizing your body through your diet, and do walk. I know a lot of Capricorns that are not that fond of exercise, but it's integral to your health. And also, I like walking for you because in your loneliness or in your trepidations, because you're not really confrontational people, you sit back too often, and what you need to do is move those feet, because that makes your mind move, and you can come up with solutions to things. So do comment and let me know if that you had that Black Moon Lilith at your workplace and you just was impossible to please, or perhaps you left that position. So not only have you gone through, and that's why you're good at opening up and telling and helping, that really helps others, because now our Aquarian friends, any 3 keys in Aquarius, are really going through it. Pluto's there now, and they're going to have to face some really hard difficulties in the next 30 years. On fleek right now, Scorpio's getting trenched and gutted, and Taurus next, and then Leo, because it's the opposing force to this Pluto energy. And because you've been through this, and not only have you been through that, but like we Cancers, Mars went into Cancer last year in the fall, and it's driving us crazy. It's been with us far too long, 6 months entirely. It dips back and retrogrades, then it goes forward and dips back and retrogrades. Finally, on April 19th, it goes into Leo. But where it's at now is in an opposing house to you, especially Capricorn rising. What does this mean? Well, that's your marriage partner, and there can be conflict there and unresolved issues there. And just like that Sabian symbol said to you, now is the time to look the truth in the face and handle the situation. This could also mean your partner is the one suffering the inflammation and the congestion and a health crisis, something to do with impure blood or heart attack or stroke or something in the stomach that is blood related, because Cancer is, Mars is in Cancer, and that can mean surgeries to bellies, surgeries to breasts, infection there, inflammation there. It's difficult. So you are now initiated into these heavens of wisdom because you survived Pluto and Capricorn, and it's tough. Pluto, unfortunately, while it got off of you, has now moved into your second house. And that second house is ruled by Venus of essential dignity. And this house in our lives is our material possessions, our goods and services, the things that we need to make us happy, our survival needs and material gains and our finances. And the access of that house has to do with money that's owed you through alimony or child support or investment dividends or a loan that you gave that someone has to pay you back, some kind of money coming in. The nice thing is, because after the 19th of the month, you could get paid back. You will reap those financial benefits. The bad part is you might have to fight for them because it's in the 8th house and it's other people's money. So either they owe it to you or it's an inheritance you're going to have to fight for. And it looks like it's male entities that are involved in this. There's a thing coming for all of us. It's going to be pretty hard. And that is that Mars is going to oppose Pluto. And the people caught in those crosshairs mostly are Leo and Aquarius. And that's tough. And that's going to go on for a while. And it begins on the 19th when Mars moves into Leo. And it will remain throughout the month. So there's some kind of struggle there about what's owed to you. You will get paid, but it's not going to be without conflict and confrontation. And I would advise you to get a financial advisor or get the law involved in this case. And the reason is that in your house and home arena, there's a lot of power right now coming there. I want you to really fireproof your place like crazy. Go through your home this April. Check all the fire alarms. Check all the things at the carbon monoxide detectors. Look outside. Loose wires, old wires. Do a thorough cleansing and check. And then check the perimeter of your home for things that are easily burnable, because you got a lot of fire energy, a ton of it, in your house, your 4th house of home and family, which is where Eris, the goddess of chaos, is, where Chiron, the wounded healer, is, where the sun is, where Mercury is moving into. So there's lots and lots of energy there. And this energy is also the parental access. What does that mean? That means that go check out your mom and dad's home too, especially if they're still living and they're elderly. Go fireproof their places. Go make sure that everything's neat and clean and wrapped up in a bow and it's all going to be okay. Because prediction is prevention. And so I'm telling you that now. A very sweet thing is happening. And I really love this. And that is in your third house, if you're Capricorn rising. But we have Pisces. Venus is going into Pisces. At the moment that I'm recording, she's still retrograde. She was very, very pure this week. And I told everybody this was the best week ever since like the fall. And I mean, it has been. Has it been for you? It's just been wonderful. You can feel the light coming about the earth. And my husband and I are practicing Lent like many Catholics. We are the largest religion in the world. And it's been enlightening and lighter and easier and sweeter. And so Pisces is where Venus is her happiest. And so we have her there for the entire month of April. And that's in your third house of communications. That's also in the house of your siblings. So if you're lucky enough to have brothers and sisters, do have a get together and have the best Easter you have ever had, because the energy is really precious. And that stays with you for the entire month, and I love that. I'm going to repeat again, you have some really nice days. The 15th, the 19th, the 20th, the 28th, the 29th. I love those days for you. Now, back to that character that may have been an intimidating force that was impossible to please in your workplace when Black Moon Lilith was there. On between the 12th or 13th, depending on where you live in the world, we have a full moon in Libra coming. And that energy is the culmination of something. So it can be the ending of that job, or maybe that person gets to get moved out of the way. And maybe then work will be, at last, because behind every full moon, we start a brand new cycle, which is a brand new beginning. But something's ending there. Unfortunately, this can be an ending again in that parental access, losing our parents or grandparents, because this culmination full moon says the cycle of their life as they were supposed to have their duties on the earth is finished, and now they're going on to their next project. And I want you to know that the next thing I want you to think about is your sixth house. And that's your everyday duties, that's your workplace. Career is highlighted by the 10th house. That's your public reputation, the public service you're giving. But the 6th house is your everyday duties at the job. And you have Jupiter there right now. And that has been with us since last summer. Well, Jupiter's energy is expansion and growth. So you may have worked for a small company that hired on new hires. It got a little bit bigger. It was a little bit noisier. That could have been some of the conflict that was coming in with all the change that was going on. Capricorns don't like change. We like things the same because we're earth people. Taurus and Virgo feel the same way. They like routine. They like duty. They like things not to be very drastically changed. It could have been a little bit noisy for you with Jupiter here. But on the 10th of June, Jupiter is going into your 7th house. And that can mean quite the improvement and blessing if you're in a business relationship, some kind of expansion. In your marriage, it's some kind of blessing shining on that relationship. Or if you're not married and you want to be married, this is a great opportunity for you to go date and see, who am I compatible with? And please don't be shy, Capricorn. You're a wonderful partner, a committed person, a loyal person, so very loving. And you have an executive flair about you with managerial skills that lots of other signs don't have, so you're quite needed. But because you've been heralded into this wisdom energy, having known what it's like to survive Pluto, it would mean so much to me if you would say a few words to those poor Aquarians that have no idea what's going to hit them. Same thing with Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. It's a lot to undergo. And then the last thing that I want to tell you is that you have a brand new moon in Taurus, and this happens to be in your 5th house, which means that's new babies coming. And so this could be a grandchild that's going to be born or conceived this month. This is a welcome and wonderful blessing in your life, in your Taurus house. And that happens on the 28th and 29th, depending on where you live in the world. The thing I do want to caution you about, though, is, and I've said this to all signs, you'll love this energy because it's Earth. So whenever the moon is in Virgo or Taurus, that's our vibe. So you're already peaceful. And like Virgo and Taurus, you don't mind staying at home, being with just the closest people to you, with your pets and your cats and your book, and to study and to be quiet and just to be home. That's what I really recommend for all signs on the 28th, because the energy is a little conflicted, but for that new moon energy. But if we follow the stars and reflect the stars, at every new moon, the sun and moon come together to make something new. So it's Taurus's new beginning. It's Taurus's brand new year. And for you, that's how there's a new conception happening for you. And what happens is the night sky is dark. And when it's dark, mankind and people, we creatures of the light, should follow what nature says and rest, restore, eat well that day, stay quiet that day, stay with people that you know you can trust. And that is my forecast and gift of you of the Sabian symbol. And I hope you have a really happy April. I hope that you get things worked out in your workplace. And because I know how important it is for Capricorns to achieve, you're born that way. And you're often given a lot of responsibility at a job because we can trust you. Lots of Capricorns are in financial planning and estate planning and banking and in trustworthy positions like accounting and finance, anything finance. And that's because you're naturally administrators. You're very responsible. You don't enjoy hurting anybody. You don't take what doesn't belong to you. You're very sweet people and make excellent managers and leaders. And so I hope that that Black Moon Lilith character indeed left the job or somehow got moved out or got fired, and that you'll have a more peaceful existence. But I do want to remind you, should new people come along and your antennas start, jiggling back and forth and you sense something off, just know that for the next year, Black Moon Lilith is in that friendship zone. And it's also in any groups. So if you're on a board or you're on a league or you're on some kind of a team, be aware that somebody somewhere somehow is going to show up being someone that's there for nefarious reasons. And I'll leave you with that. I hope you have a very sweet April, and I look forward to getting your email to say that you want me to write your written astrology forecasts for the month, and the next month, and the next month, and the next month, and the next month. It's really not a lot of money. It's $1,200 for the year, and it's personalized to you, and it's something you can keep in your planner, keep in your date book, that'll give you a reference to where energy is and how you can use it best. Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening.